Hello guys and welcome to another video. Today we have this radical equation right here. Pretty interesting problem. And we want to figure out the values of x that will actually satisfy it. But before we start, pause the video, give it a try first, and if you are done, you can come back to the video. Without further ado, let's get right into it. In fact, the very first thing I will do is that I will keep the whole of this term and then transpose this. So we are going to have cube root of x plus 28, and this is equal to, already we have 2 there, I'll put it there nicely, then plus transposing everything, we will have plus cube root of x minus 28. Pretty nice. Now the next thing is that let's get rid of this cube root right here by raising each side of the equation to the third power. So everything right here to the third power, then everything here to the third power as well. And clearly we see that this will cancel out that, and we are left with just x plus 28. And this is equal to, now this time you have sum of two terms all raised to the third power. And of course, this is the part that is making the question a little bit challenging. Once we are able to expand this one, the question is nothing. But how are we going to expand? That is the problem. But don't worry, we are going to use Pascal's triangle to expand this. If we know the coefficients, we can actually expand this. Check this. Because we have a power of 3 here, the coefficients are 1, 3, 3, 1. That is Pascal's triangle's coefficients, right? So the first term, the coefficient of the first term here is 1, but remember 1 times any number is 1. So we are going to have 2 to the third power, then plus the next coefficient is 3. I'll put it there nicely like that. And this time, this 2 to the third power will reduce the power by 1. So you have times 2 to the second power. And this time, this term right here will increase the power by 1. So we are going to have times cube root of x minus 28 like this. Then plus the next coefficient is 3, so I will just put it there. Then times the 2 to the second power will reduce the power by 1, which will automatically be 2. Then times, this time the whole of this will also increase the power by 1, which will be cube root of x minus 28 raised to the power. We're going to have 2, then cube root like that. Then the next term is going to be, the coefficient is 1. 1 times any number is the number itself. Then this 2 right here will also reduce the power by 1, which will be 2 to the power 0, which is 1. And this whole term will increase the power by 1 again. So we are going to have cube root of x minus 28 raised to the third power. Great. And this time we can proceed by simplifying this further. We are going to have x plus 28 is equal to 2 to the third power is 8. Then 2 to the second power is 4 times 3, that is 12. Then times cube root of x minus 28. Then again, we have plus 3 times 2 is 6. Then times cube root of x minus 28 all to the second power. Then plus, remember, this cube will cancel out this cube root, and we are left with x minus 28. Pretty nice. Now, this is the equation that we have. How can we figure out the value of x? Now, to start with that, first of all, we see that this x will cancel out this since they are the same on each side of the equation. If we transpose this to be minus, and they will leave. Great. Now, let's go ahead and then equate everything to 0, starting with the term with the highest power. So we will have 6 times cube root of x minus 28 squared. Then we have this term right here, 12. This time, let me put it in parentheses, times cube root of x minus 28. Then we are left with, we have negative 28 plus 8. That would be negative 20. Then we have positive 28 right here. If we transpose this, it will also be negative 28 plus 20. That will be negative 48. And this is equal to 0. This seems like quadratic equation. Of course, we have this to the power, but because of the cube root, it's making the thing a little bit difficult. But don't worry, let's set this one to m. Let's let m be equal to the cube root of x minus 28 so that it will be a little bit easier. So we are going to have 6m squared, then plus 12m, then minus 48 is 0. Quadratic equation. Can we reduce it? Yes, we can reduce this because every term in this quadratic equation is divisible by 6. So let's go ahead and then divide every term by 6 so that here we'll be left with just m squared. Then here we have plus 2m minus, this will be 8, and this is equal to 0. Very nice quadratic equation. Now remember, whenever we have a quadratic equation, we will be getting two factors of which their product is 0. Now the easiest way to tackle this quadratic equation is that, first of all, I'll ask myself, what times 4 to give me m squared? And that is m times m. Then again, I'll find two factors that their product will give me negative 8, but their sum will give me positive 2. And the factors are pretty much simple. That is positive 4 and negative 2. 4 times negative 2, that is negative 8. 4 plus negative 2, that is positive 2. So that means that I can put plus 4 here and minus 2 right here. And this time we have product of two factors is equal to 0. Actually, we can form two equations out of this. So I'll get rid of this quickly. So the first one is going to be m plus 4 is equal to 0, or the second one is going to be m minus 2 is equal to 0. And from the first equation, we can have m is equal to negative 4, that is if we subtract 4 from each side, or from the second one, we can have m is equal to 2. But remember, initially we let m to be equal to the cube root of x minus 28. So now that we know that m is negative 4 and positive 2, we can actually replace m with these values. So we are going to have the first one. I'm considering this first. We are going to have the cube root of x minus 28 is equal to m, where m is minus 4. We want to look for the value of x. Let's raise each side of the equation to the third power so that this and this will leave, and we are left with x minus 28 is equal to negative 4 to the third power, that is negative 64. So we have x is equal to negative 64. Transposing this, it will be positive. So everything here will be minus 36. And this is one of the solutions, of course. And the next one, when m is equal to 2, we are going to have cube root of x minus 28 is equal to 2. And like we did before, we have to raise this side of the equation to the third power so that this and this will leave. Then we are going to have x minus 28 is equal to 8. Transposing this right here, we have x is equal to 8 plus 28, which is positive 36. And this is the other solution to the problem. But of course, if you are tackling radical problems, sometimes if you get two answers like this, don't just go. Test and see, because some of them may not work. I'm going to tackle this one first because if this works, then definitely this is going to work. So let's see. When x is equal to negative 36, we are going to have cube root of negative 36 plus 28, then minus cube root of negative 36 minus 28. And we are just checking to see whether this will be equal to 2. So we have cube root of, the whole of this will give us negative 8, then minus cube root of negative 36 minus 28, that is negative 64. But in fact, we can write negative 8 as negative 2 to the third power. Then cube root of that will be everything to the power 1 over 3. Then minus negative 64 could also be written as negative 4 to the third power, then all to the power cube root of that, which will be 1 over 3. And clearly we see that this and this will go. We have minus 2, then minus. Now this and this will also leave, and we are left with just minus 4. Minus 2 minus minus 4, that is positive 2. So it means that this satisfies the equation. Therefore, if you go ahead and replace x with positive 36, this will also satisfy the equation. You can check this out, right? So finally, we have two answers. X is equal to plus or minus 36. And these are the only real solutions to the problem. Thanks for watching, and see you again on the next video. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe.